Hi everyone, it's Victor speaking, and today I will be speaking about your weekly forecast from 8th of March till 15th of March. So we have entered the Pisces season, so I thought I would share some thoughts of what Pisces season might look like. And the reason being is because this month we have got 5 planetary bodies in this sign. So, like in January and February, we had a major Aquarius energy. Now it's all shifted into Pisces. So, Pisces is a mutable sign, and mutable energy is all about movement, flow, transition, shifting from one place to another, sometimes with no purpose though or directions in life, but usually this movement is led by curiosity and your personal mood. Now, Pisces is a water sign, which means that we want to be reconnecting with our feelings, or those feelings somehow getting stirred up. You can be a lot more sensitive to shifts and your surroundings. You can easily pick up other people's feelings. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and Venus. Yes, Venus can be the ruler of Pisces also by something called Almutine. And this really depends on the degree of your rising sign. So if you have got your rising sign, for instance, or any planet in the first 8 degrees of the sign of Pisces, then actually Pisces is also ruled by your Venus. So I kind of urge you to consider this in your astrological readings. Now, during Pisces season, you might be called to connect with others and provide support for someone who is feeling a little bit lost maybe right now. In Pisces season, it's all about expanding our heart and generosity. So generosity is another topic which becomes, as the ruler, Jupiter is seeking wisdom and meaning to life. And here, Jupiter knows he can only do that by connecting with others. It is also very good to be around people who can uplift your spirit, both emotionally and physically. Now, Mercury is one of the most debilitated planets in this sign, which I don't fully agree with. However, I'm going to be speaking about that very shortly. So the week is basically starting on 8th of March when Venus is going to be in conjunction to a cantor called Nessus. Uh, some of you might not know about Nessus much, so I would like to share a little bit of a knowledge of this. So basically, after a battle, Nessus fled on the river in western Greece and acted as a ferryman where he met Hercules. And basically, meeting Nessus was the beginning of the end for Hercules' hero's journey. And Hercules, or some also call it Heracles, needed Nessus to ferry his wife across the river. But while Nessus was carrying her across the river, he tried to rape her. And Hercules, in turn, shot an arrow that killed Nessus. Now, the wife was very pissed off at Hercules for having an affair with a younger woman. And Nessus, while dying, gave some of his blood to the wife and tells her to use it as a love potion to stop Hercules' infidelity. So the wife did that, but in the meantime, the wife realized that actually it was a poison and she tried to reach Hercules, but she couldn't. So basically, Hercules died with a poison in his body, and it was a very long, tortured, rage-filled death. Now, and that's exactly what Nessus talks about in a natal chart. His orbit lasts 123 years or so. It's highly elliptical, and he orbits between Saturn and Pluto. Now, Nessus signifies both the personal experience of violent trauma, such as rape, abuse, suicide, violent acts, mass exterminations, and also the collective response to those trauma. So Nessus also represents the way these traumas pass into our family incarnation or the collective unconscious, which something slowly poisoning our capability to become self-actualized and being aware of your origin. So Nessus in your birth chart represents some of the toughest material to confront. It is everything that a family or cultural group don't bring up in casual conversations. But at one point of your maturation, you start realizing that abuse works 3 days. So if someone has experienced abuse in their life, they act usually in three different ways. So the first one is they treat others similarly to how their abuser treated them. Second is they surround themselves with people who treat them the way their abuser did. Or number three is they treat themselves as the abuser treated them. So if you find a chart with a prominent Nessus, um, it usually indicates that there is an abuse or the abuse is a theme in their life. And they will be responding in one of those ways, how I just mentioned a minute ago. So, the question is, some might be asking whether we can see which way they will do that, whether they're going to be choosing option 1, 2, or 3. And I would say that no, I don't think you can actually see that because it really depends on the native. But if you look at the whole chart, and there is a strong Mars representation. For example, maybe a Mars squaring or opposing Nessus, or just a very prominent Mars signature of the chart, then they might be using, treating others that way. But, in a nutshell, I think you can't really know for sure. You can only maybe see trends. So, by the way, if you are unsure of how to find your Nessus in your chart, then go on astro.com and in the additional objects segment, you can add a number in the box. His number is 7066. Now, I would say Nessus is prominent in your natal chart when it is conjuncting, opposing, squaring a personal planet or an angle. So the personal planets are Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus. In many cases, unfortunately, that's the case with Jupiter as well. So, but even Saturn. So, if you went through some of those traumas in your life, probably you want to be seeing Nessus. Now, on the 8th of March, we also have got Mercury sextiling Juno. And this is actually a good time to share news, information, and ideas with your spouse or with your mates. These discussions could be pleasant, open, and sincere, and you might feel comfortable in dealing with everyday affairs and the needs of the relationship. Let's say if you have got a personal problem or dilemma, you may be able to rely on your partner. Maybe you're gonna be respecting your loved one's point of view a lot more. Their words of love and encouragement could generate some warmth and understanding between the two of you. And because we've got this Nessus type of element as well at the same time, maybe it is a brilliant time to share your traumatic experiences with your partner, because it could be uplifting your relationship. By the way, Juno is a soulmate asteroid in the chart, and it represents the perfect image of that person you would get along very well. Now, on the 10th of March, we are going to be having a Sun and Neptune conjunction. And, you know, I love Sun and Neptune connection. It's a little bit of a mellow, sleepy quality. So this is the day when you should be taking a rest, trying to recharge your batteries. But you can be experiencing some soul satisfying fulfillment as well. So I would say this is the day when you need to meditate or some type of spiritual practices which are very favored. And if you have got a very busy schedule at the moment, this is the day when you should be taking a day off. This is a brilliant day to do something artistic or just laying low. It is very good to go and swim or sing in the shower if you want to. And also, you might have got very vivid imaginations as well. Some of you might feel extremely overwhelmed, tired, and even confused. So, especially those ones need to lay low a little bit and thinking about, how I can charge up myself. This is also a good day to dance or shoot some videos if you work in some of those, some similar department which requires that. Do something which relaxes you and helps you escape from reality. It is something we only have once a year, and we all deserve a little bit of a rest. Now, when Sun conjuncts Neptune transits, increases your sensitivity, intuition, empathy. We can be more effective in what's going on in our environment and what surrounds us. You can become very caring and compassionate, and your kindness can be seen as weakness in the eyes of salespeople, loan sharks, drug dealers, and psychic vampires. So just be careful about that. I've already spoken about that in my previous video, why I believe that loan sharks and scammers will somehow appear in our life. So check that out in the Mars in Gemini video, because I think plenty of us could be suffering because of that. Now, best day, for instance, to listen to my astrological forecasts and videos with this Neptune and Sun conjunction, do so. And don't forget to share my videos as well. Thank you very much. On a negative note, this is the day when you need to set boundaries. So we can have tendencies for more escapism, and we might want to drink or using some type of substances, something which is modifying our moods. You may benefit from joining or learning more about environmental matters, charity, social work, and community work, community groups. You can benefit quite a lot from them. Also, a great day to watch movies. A bit of a romanticism is very Neptunian anyway. And also, gents, maybe your girlfriend is going to be expecting a bunch of flowers around these couple of days. So, for instance, don't forget that on the 8th of March, this is an International Women's Day. So, get your loved ones a bunch of flower. Yes, so Sun is also your ego. So this transit actually can sublimate your ego, and you may still improve your self-esteem with the use of mirrors and cameras. So actually, this is a brilliant day to, to take some selfies, pose a little bit, dress up nicely, use your creativity, and then look at those pictures, especially if you like them. Post them whenever you want to, because it could really boost your self-confidence. Now, your imagination and fantasy life could be very active. You can dream up some very creative ideas as well. But on a negative note, you might tend to dissipate your energy and to avoid the real world. So as I said, this week we have got plenty of Pisces energy. So, and the next one, we're going to have a little bit of a rest until the 13th of March. And we will be having our new moon in Pisces, which is going to be happening on 23 degrees. Now, a new moon is basically the birth of the moon, a new lunar cycle. And this is associated with intentions, goals, and new beginnings. So there is always a little bit of a hazy tone to Pisces new moon. This is not about planning things out. It is more about listening to your feelings and relying on your internal wisdom. Maybe you want to be doing something more spiritual, mystical stuff in your life. Maybe actually you can pull a tarot card and get some guidance. So this is the new moon of visualization. So a vision board is something you can actually consider. This new moon is ruled by Jupiter, who is still in Aquarius. So actually Jupiter does have visionary qualities in the sign of Aquarius, because here Jupiter is a lot more future thinking and it has got progressive ideas. So you might be dreaming about stabilizing your visions or receiving opportunities, wanting to grow, but not only for your own benefit, but also for others. Pisces is generous and it's giving. It's about compassionate love. So you might want to help others around you. So check out where Pisces is in your chart. And that's the area of life which is going to be affected the most. Now, I just want to share, I think I've already mentioned it in the Mars in Gemini video, but this is the day when I'm going to move to Bulgaria. So new moon is all about new beginnings. I have got my North Node and Mars in the 4th house. Mars is actually ruling my 9th, which is all about relocation. And also this new moon is happening on my natal Mars. So I've got such a Marsian activity going on, bringing in the 4th and the 9th house energies. And I swear down, I did not do that intentionally. I just had the idea I'm going to be moving. So, by the way, on this day, Venus is also conjunct in Neptune, and that's going to be happening on 20 degrees of Pisces. So, now this position can be a little bit tricky. It has got plenty of potentials, but we can become very deluded as well. So, artistic exploration, developing on your intuitive skills. You can work on things which we don't say out loudly, and we can be very sensitive about it. Probably you will be able to pick up other people's emotions. You can feel when someone is entering the room, what mood they will be in. But also this has got a very strong romantic quality. So we might be craving for a romantic relationship or just cuddles, nurturing, that nourishing personal connection with someone. If you want to connect someone new, you might want to be a little slow with this. And this can be, this is the constellation where we are kind of wearing a rose-colored glasses. We want to see things which is not even there. This is the day when we can have lack of boundaries. We can fantasize about things. We believe that life is a fairy tale, and we can be overly romantic. I usually, because there is such a Neptunian flavor to the month, I usually say that, Neptune is like a poison apple. So it's beautiful from the outside and it's rotten inside. So with Neptune transit, I've always seen that it starts extremely nicely. We can't see things clearly, and eventually it's going to be disappointment. So this is also a brilliant day to listen to music. If you want to be outside, maybe then do so by being close to the river or water, or you might want to go for a steam room, sauna if possible. In some countries, I believe some of the restrictions have already been lifted up, as I predicted a couple of months ago. So we can kind of start enjoying also the sunshine. So do something which gives you pleasure and indulgence. So your romantic imagination is very strong now. Dreams of an idealized true love or feelings of compassion and oneness with others emerge strongly at this time. Your perception of people gets rather hazy. You tend to see them through rose-colored glasses, and it is best not to make firm commitments at this time around. If you have got some artistic or creative inclinations, then your work actually can blossom this time around. So I feel like you can really come up with some lovely and inspiring images, paintings. Your songwriting skills could be um, heightened this month around. So there is so much goodness going on about this full moon as well. Not to mention that, not full moon, sorry, new moon. Not to mention that this new moon is going to have a sextile to Pluto, but at the same time, we're going to have a Uranus, a semi-square to the Pisces moon. Now, a semi-square is like half a square. It's a 45-degree angle. And Uranus always wants to shake things up, breaking the mold. So long term, and how we can make a difference um, will be one of the theme of this new moon. So we still have got 3 planets in the sign of Aquarius and 4 in Pisces, plus we've got Pallas Athene shifted into the sign of Pisces on the 7th as well. So this Uranian impact is still definitely important. A couple of keywords I would say with this Pluto-Uranian influence to the new moon is soul searching. That's a very Plutonian topic. Introspective energies. This is a brilliant day for astrology reading, so you can contact me if you need one. Very good for counseling, wanting to find the soulmate, wanting to go deep in family matters, or you might have got a strong desire to start fresh. You might have been feeling in a rut, and you might want to explore something new. And Uranus is shock, Pisces is endings, and Uranus can bring, and Pluto can bring new beginnings as well. So most probably there is an undertone of wanting to have maybe a refreshing relationship, or do I want to start a new job, or do I want to end a bad habit of mine? So these are going to be the topics of this full moon. Sorry, still new moon. I'm not too sure why I'm saying full moon. Don't worry. So on the 15th, Mercury will join the sign of Pisces. And well, Mercury has been in Aquarius for 2 months. And this was a very rational Mercury. Now, Mercury will be only 2.5 weeks in the sign of Pisces. So this is all about exploring emotions, talking about feelings. Here, the facts and details are not that important. Maybe the practical stuff is not necessarily the best option for you now, because you can easily miss details and important informations. Mercury is very good for poetry, music. You might be inspired to take on a craft or some creative stuff. Part of your mind is trying to explore bigger possibilities. So seeing the bigger picture is also very Mercury in Pisces. Now, Mercury is said to be debilitated here because of its detriment and fall position. And yes, it is true. but there is so much good quality about it too. So I had a webinar about planets in detriment and fall. So check it out. And to honor the Pisces season, I've decided to give you a 30% discount on the planets in detriment and fall, because I want everyone to know that there is so much goodness about planets in detriment and fall. And I really went into this topic. I think it's a good 3.5, 4 hour length of each planet in the detriment and fall and what is good about them. But anyway, here is what you need to know about Pisces. And this is a little bit of an segment of the webinar I had. So Pisces, Mercury is a mental planet. Pisces is psychic abilities. So you can have an extraordinary capacity to understand sleeping patterns and things behind the scene. So poetry, music would be actually dead without having Mercury in Pisces energy. So the capacity to understand dreams, to see things beyond, not just focusing on the data, but actually seeing behind those, also a positive trait of Mercury in Pisces. Picking up on sound, images, shapes, memory, psychic impressions, emotional tones, all those are goodies about Mercury in Pisces. Mercury in Pisces is very good at picking up on entities or the moods of people in the atmosphere that others might not be able to pick up. Your mind is basically an ultimate psychic sponge, which is sometimes a gift and a challenge as well at the same time. Mercury in Pisces is very good for working against discrimination. There is a healing aspect to what you share, and it might strike others and divinely inspires them. And I feel like Mercury in Pisces is also very good for astrological readings. So this little segment of the webinar is about natal as well as transiting Mercury in the sign of Pisces. So share your thoughts with me about if you have got Mercury in Pisces, for instance, natally, what are the challenges with that, and what actually the positive things you might see with this Mercury placement. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening and joining me today. Please don't forget to press like and ring the notification bell and share the video with others. It does not cost you a penny, but it helps me to grow my channel and get my message to others as well. Yes, that's it. Have a blessed day, everyone. And you might be seeing my next video from Bulgaria already. So take care, everyone, and see you soon. Bye-bye.